is dead. Totally dead. Aww, sad noises. Here's the insides. And here's where I'm going to be focusing. I want to test out this fancy ESR meter that I ordered online. Well, I guess it's a everything tester. But apparently it will test ESR for capacitors, which I haven't been able to do in the past. And I want to see what I find. And it's a free junker, so nothing to lose. Oh shit, that's still plugged in. Well, that was just about the fastest disassembly I've ever experienced in a VCR. That's all the screws holding, there's 4 screws holding the mechanism onto the board. The board has another 2 screws mounting it to the plastic shell. There's an additional screw holding the power button on. And then you just have 2 of those black screws for the back. And that's it. And the only electrical connection to the board is here for the erase head. This connector, this one, you have your mode switch, and there's a ribbon cable connector for the video head, and I believe this is probably for the head drum motor. Very, very simple. So I'm gonna start going through the power supply. Let's pull the big filter cap out first and see what it looks like. My understanding, you have your low frequency side, high voltage, and your higher frequency side here. And you can see the hot and cold side, and this is an opto coupler to keep this side completely separated, electrically separated. And I believe the way these work is it converts to DC, then creates a much higher frequency to run through this transformer to step down the voltage, then converts it back to DC. The idea being that this transformer is a lot more efficient at the higher frequency than it is at, say, 60 Hertz, which is line voltage. So it's more complicated, but I guess the advantage is you get this tiny little transformer instead of the big suckers in the linear power supplies. So testing the filter capacitor, I don't think this one needs to be low ESR. It's at such a high voltage, 250 volt. They don't really have like, well they do, so 68 microfarad, 250 volts. ESR is half an ohm. And if we look at, well there's 47 and 100 microfarad. If we go over here, 250, 0.63 to 1.4. So that's good. The capacitance is a little low, but I don't think that would necessarily cause this to stop working, so I'm going to put that in and keep going. So now I'm getting into the capacitors that I believe need to be low ESR. This is 1.3 ohms, 704 microfarad. It's a 680 microfarad. Let me see if I can see that here. 680 microfarad, 25 volt. Now if I were to take that information that we just saw here, and so it's over an ohm, and I were to compare that to my table. So if I were to take this information, specifically 1.4 ohm, and look that up here, so 680, let's go between these two, and 0.29, 0.14. So 1.4 is an order of magnitude higher than this, or lower than this, so this could potentially be a problem. This is the last capacitor. Look at that number, 8.5. This is a 47 microfarad at 25 volts. 47 microfarad, 25 volts, 2.9. 8.5 is bad. Okay, found a bad one. Here's a possible replacement. This is a 47 microfarad at 63 volts, so significantly higher, and it's 0.52. Well, that's no good. This is a 4.7 microfarad at 50 volts. Supply works and seems to be fixed. I was replacing that capacitor in the back, that tiny one. Was completely bad. 4.7 microfarad, I think 50 volts. You can see here, this one had a bit high ESR, but I didn't have a replacement value, so I tacked two in parallel on the back side. That doesn't seem to have solved it. So I'm starting to think this does have other issues. I'll show you the problem. So, on-screen works just fine. As soon as I hit play, no picture, and a very high-pitched, keep this off, very high-pitched squeal in the sound. Now that's linear audio that it's picking up. I tried an EP recorded tape, same thing, plays just fine, correct speed and everything. Only linear audio, high-pitched squeal, no video. There's a couple of just lines going across. The CRT sometimes picks this up a little better. So if I go and fast forward scan, pause. So it really comes down to this video head. If I go and slow down the drum, like it is getting something from the drum. If I hit play, I slow down the drum. That's very hard to see on the camera. I don't know if you're seeing the dots. Let's try this. You can sort of see the dots there. This here is for the motor, the video head drum motor, and this is for the signals coming off of the heads. I sprayed both ends of this with contact cleaner, made sure they seated correctly. That's why there's this white crap. Got some contact cleaner on the dust. See this discoloration. So there's a surface mount chip on the back here, and these cutouts are for heat. Got one here, got one down here, and you can see that over time this has gotten very hot. And two things roll through my mind. One, this IC is died, in which case this whole thing's garbage. The other thought is that due to heat, one of these capacitors has prematurely failed. Now if that's the case, I don't know if I want to take every single one of these out and test it. Do I? Well, I went through, I'd say about half of these. You can see one that I changed out, and I'd say about a third of them tested poorly. Either almost no capacitance or a very, very high ESR. Made no difference at all. So I don't know if I really want to go any further. All of these have just been salvaged off of crap. I'm not wasting good caps on this. If anyone has any idea of what I can look at, maybe they're more familiar with the circuit or have a schematic and we can sort of like pinpoint a component. Or if you think that this IC is bad and I should just keep this for parts, because it's got a lot of good parts. And that's it. I think I'm going to put this back together and park it. Unless anyone has any ideas of what to check. In the process I did clean the heads, clean the mechanism, clean the mode switch, because whatever, you can't tell me what to do. And I mean, at least it powers on now. Power supply seems to be working nicely. Front display does like jack shit. You have to go and flip over here. Oh wait. First, I have to plug in video. Alright, here we go. So when you first power it on, you get this mandatory language selection. Let's choose English and say no. And I'm sure someone will tell me who made this, because I have no idea. I'm not good at recognizing mechanisms. I know this is a lowercase on screen, which I think Hitachi's normally used, but this is probably some Chinese. Well, actually, what does it say on the back? Made in Korea. Oh, this might be a Samsung. Anyway, you guys tell me for sure, but if anyone has any ideas of where to go on this video problem, please let me know.